It's a line waiting out the door to do your car registration. I'm about to see how much this costs me now. It's a lot of business stuff you have to take care of. Ooh.
Only been a few hours, but it felt like days. Only been days, but it felt like months. Been gone for a year.
And today we're going to be talking about some of the things that you need to do and you're going to have to do if you're moving. It's exciting. It's a new chapter. There are also steps you'll have to complete to make this transitional period in your life complete. This is the second part of my moving vlog. I moved to Houston, Texas recently. I like to make a list and I have it on my iPad. When you're moving, you have to change over a lot of things to your new address. So we're gonna go through that right now. I wanna start with mail, your mailing address. Changing your mail, that is step one. You can go to the US Post Office in person and request a mail change. I like to do it about 2 weeks before. That's my personal preference. And I've done this before in the past, so I'm familiar with the process. You can also go on the US Postal Service's website if you have an account, and you can submit that request that way. And you can also hold your mail. That's something you would have to think about your timeline with moving. You want to change your address, and then do you want to hold it so they can stop it? I think it's about like 30 days. There's a limit on how long they can hold your mail and then resume it. Essentially press play because you want your packages, any important notices, and you don't want them to sit in your old mailbox. And speaking of, and why this is so important, if you do content creation, if you're on any brand's list, they send you PR packages. And I got a notice through UPS that I was having packages and they were getting delivered to my old address. And I'm just like, I need that. Like, I need the products. Y'all ask, do creators use the PR products that brands send them? I do. So for UPS, I had to go into my account because I have an account for UPS too. And I had to redirect those packages from my old address to my new address in Houston. It was at a pickup location in Houston. I should say that, a UPS checkpoint in Houston, where they hold your packages. I tried to redirect them to my new address here, but it wouldn't let me, but it let me direct it to a store in Houston. And that was not free. I had to pay, I think it was like $25 per PR package to get it redirected. If you're not familiar with content creation, I'm on a few lists for brands where they send you public relations packages, the PR packages, and that's when they send you products to try with hopes that you're gonna post them. Let's unbox these. We have L'Oreal Paris. They sent me their setting spray, the infallible setting spray. I use this. They've sent this to me previously and you've seen it in some of my content, a restock if you will. And then they sent me another PR package, their setting spray again, but this time with the Lumi Glotion. So I have two. I have 2 new bottles of setting spray and then Glotion. This is clutch, I'm telling you. So shout out to L'Oreal. I get a lot of product from L'Oreal Paris, and it just feels good to be seen by brands that you've loved since high school. Love some makeup. I gotta make sure it stays on. There we go. This is more so if you're moving to a different state in the US. I wanna say the US exactly because for my international audience, because I know I have some international watchers. Okay, y'all, let me be serious. If you're planning on moving to a different state in the US, you have to change your license and your car registration to match your new resident. They open at 8 o'clock. It's a line waiting out the door to do your car registration in Harris County. 3 hours at the DMV. I did get my license plates. They gave me one for the front and the back. And now I'm at the DPS office to get my driver's license. I couldn't get these plates and my driver's license at the same place. She was like, no, there are 2 different offices. What? When I lived in Illinois, it was one center and then half was driver's license and then the other was license and like the other was title and registration. So that sent me. And I don't remember, like I said, y'all, I don't remember it being like this when I lived in Dallas back in the day, or any other part of Texas back in the day. But I don't know, is it a Houston thing? Because now I have to go and get my driver's license, take a new photo, and I have to set an appointment. You have to set an appointment to get your driver's license, and the only appointments that were available today was this location 30 minutes away. And I'm not dealing with this on another day, because it's a lot. And shout out to the team member at the license plate registration office, because she was so understanding and so nice. She could have been like, nope, back in the line, lady, after me waiting 2 hours. But okay, let's go get our driver's license now, because this has to be done. Just so y'all know, I have the receipt. It cost me $201.25 to register my car in Texas. It says a fee assessment, title application, another fee, a new resident tax, a windshield sticker, some other miscellaneous charges, admissions, inspection fee, processing and handling fee. So yeah, so consider that if you're moving out of state, or consider that if you're moving to a new state, that all of these costs add up. I'm about to see how much this cost me too now.
Yes, sir. How can I help you? Okay, can I see this? I'm sorry.
And now I'm back. So I know how that goes. I think there's a deadline depending on which state you're in about how long you have to change that over. So your car insurance, that has to be switched to the new state. And the rates are different per state. I remember when I left Texas, the price dropped for my car insurance. I'm looking at some of these rates, like, I guess Texas on the insurance end is considered a state where there's more, the drivers are more. Oh, that's one thing. And Texas is more of a driving state. I know in the bigger cities in Chicago, you can get away with public transportation. And then in some of the smaller cities, they also have buses, but more people will use their cars frequently. And allocate that cost into your moving. Make sure you change your mail. If you're a driver, your license, your insurance, everything matches where you are now, and you have to transfer that over to your new state. Next on our list, finding new healthcare providers. If you have insurance, if you don't, there's still this transition period of finding a new doctor, a new primary care physician, or an eye doctor, a dentist, and any other specialist you may see. That is something you have to add to your list. It is expensive when it comes to finding new healthcare professionals. I am sad because I really did enjoy all of the doctors and nurse practitioners, dentists that I encountered in my previous city. Maybe you're moving to a new city and you don't have insurance. I recommend visiting your state's health website or your local county health department website and looking at the different resources and seeing what outreach programs they have. There are organizations that help people find resources for healthcare, dental. Start with your local health department. And the healthcare does not just apply to me. It applies to Cisco, my dog, my Chihuahua. Cisco has been around for about a year now, and I'm taking him to the vet before I take myself to the doctor. It's not easy being a parent, being a dog mom, because one of his vaccines is about to expire, and I want to make sure he's up to date and there's no gap in those, because he does go to doggy daycare. And if I need to drop him off at a hotel resort for pets overnight, there's no discrepancy. There's no missing any vaccines. And I did take him to the vet in Illinois before we left, and he got about 4 of his vaccines, but the dog flu one, it was about to expire. But now it's closer that I can get him that. Making sure he's good. Not even just human healthcare, we have pet healthcare. That was some information on tips moving, things to think about outside of the normal, outside of your nice, beautiful, aesthetic apartment, the decorations and all of that. You want to have that in place. In your home, your condo, your apartment, that's your sanctuary. That is your space. So you want to make sure that's all put together. I hope this information helped you if you're moving to a new city, a new state, or if you're already there, but you thought, I didn't think of that. If you have any other advice for people moving, drop that down in the comments, because we're in this all together. If you've made it to the end of this vlog, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video.
I'm doing what I want. It's some me time. You know what you want. Maybe I'll love myself.